Hey, it's Bill Stage from 97X, and we are with Gary Rowland from Max Tavern down there in Davenport, doing a little behind the business here today, trying to get to the heart of why Gary does what he does. Gary, why do you do what you do? What is it you do?
Well, that's a really good question. I'm not sure what my specific title is other than um, bartender, but you know, I introduce people to other people. You know, I make friends, made lifelong friends. Bartenders are a great service to the community. We like to get people to take their wall down when they come into the bar and have a couple drinks. And if it's me you need to tell that story to, or you need to vent on so that you can get out of your funk, or just put life on the shelf for a minute, I'm here to help.
That's a great way to look at things, man. That's a great perspective because it's not just about slinging drinks. It's about making people feel comfortable, and yeah, and sometimes people just need that release, especially in times like these. Let's go back to the beginning, Gary. When Max Tavern was first open, is this a bar that's been in your family for a little while? When did it start?
Max opened in 1934. Bill McLaughlin was the original owner of the bar. Pretty much everything in the bar is still original to the room. Floor,
Mm.
bar, back of the bar, my humidor, my t-shirt cabinet, it's all still original. It was in his family for quite a long time. I think there's only really been 8 or 9 owners of Max since 34.
Mm,
I'm not sure if I'm 9 or 10 technically.
gotcha.
But right now it's mine, and me and my family, we own and operate. It's a great feeling to have a nice piece of history in a small little Davenport town.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure obviously a lot has changed since, opening a bar right around the Prohibition times. It had to be crazy times back then. Do you any of the previous owners pass along any stories about the olden days?
There's been a lot of stories. I mean, being a river town, the rumors of Al Capone coming through. I mean, there was the old school knock and slide door entrance in the back. When I first got to Max, there was the original poker table that they used to play was still upstairs, and it was so huge. It's had to weigh about 1,000 pounds,
Wow.
so it's still up there. Um, so there's plenty of stories. Whether any of them are true or not, will never be proven, unfortunately. But there's stories that I like to share with people every now and then. So
Well, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story is what I always say.
yeah, there you go, there you go. Let the story live. I agree.
So when you first got into the bar business, what was it that drew you into it? Were you always a bartender? Did you start out where did you start out, Gary?
Well, I mean, my original job employment would have been fast food. I did the Taco Bell thing, the Burger King thing. I even did the Baskin Robbins thing. Um, it was a way to hang out with my friends um, at work and then not at work. And then it just naturally progressed into more of a restaurant. And then, one day I was in the back cooking at a El Torito's in Los Altos, California, and they were shorthanded in the bar, and they needed somebody to come out and be a cocktail server. And I was like, hell yeah, that's me,
Yeah.
because I was back there with knives cooking up fajitas, and I was like, yeah, this is that sounds like more fun. So I went out there, and I never went back, never went back.
It takes a certain person to be a good bartender. What do you think some of those personality traits are?
Managing people is probably the biggest one, I would say. It's also the one that goes most unrecognized.
Hmm.
You've got to make everybody believe that they're the only person there, while still handling every single person that's there,
Right.
which is a double-edged sword, because when you treat someone like they're the only person there, they want to be the only person there.
Yeah.
So it's hard to so your trick is to introduce them to other people, try to get conversation going so that you have the ability to sneak away to take care of other things while they, you know, could possibly be starting a new best friendship, you know, so,
Mhm.
or, you know, a new relationship, or who knows. So you know, I like to introduce people to other people, especially if I think from what I know of them, they actually would get along great, you know, regardless of what their hidden agendas are, which we all have one. But you know, when the bar beauty of the bar is you get to be whoever you want on any given day, and I'm just there to kind of roll with the punches. So
Have you ever had any big successes as far as that goes? Any marriages because of you?
we've had I'm ordained, so I've married four couples, two of which met in my bar and got engaged in my bar.
That's
So
great.
yeah, it's great. It's really great, actually.
Gary, what's your day to day look like? Obviously, today looks a lot different than 3 months ago for everybody. But on a normal business day, what is it that you do?
Well, I have the privilege of being an owner operator with my wife, and since we have a 3.5-year-old, my day is totally dictated by him.
Mm.
So I have no control of my life whatsoever. Um, I wake up and I do whatever my son orders me to do, which is,
Uh-huh.
you know, just every second of every day. And then, you know, sometimes in between, we got to sneak out to Sam's to replenish the bar. You know, we like to do everything ourselves. You know, we run our own errands. We pick up all of our own product.
Mhm.
We're very much on hand. So as far as the operating, so you know, while I'm at home, I try to be a good dad and a good husband. But you know, because I'm an owner, work is always right there in my head. That never stops. But you know, the switch definitely flips as soon as I walk in the door and turn on the
Nice.
light. That's when the switch flips, and then you know, it switches back when I lock the door. So,
Yeah.
but it's more about for me, it's more about family and everything else. Now, before the kid, of course, we had, you know, I had my routine, you know, of what I would do before I'd go in and how I'd mentally prepare myself for, you know, the deluge of people and everything else that I was going to have to deal with, because bartending is stressful, but um, you know, it's like I said, it's better than being a grown up any day of the week.
As far as some of the food and drinks and all of that, how hands on are you with the preparation or the curation of some of those recipes? And do you have any favorites?
Well, thankfully, I've got a proper chef in the back of the house that handles all of my back of house needs. So thankfully I don't have to worry about any of that, because that would just be a nightmare for me. Front of the house, we pretty much um, do a lot of our own original cocktails. My wife is very good at staying on me to keep inventing, trying new mixes, trying to stay current yet still, because we're a historical, classic, old school bar. It's important for me to keep the history part of our place,
Mhm.
and yet still try to stay as current as necessary to still adapt to the 20 somethings that come in, but you know, still make sure that that 50 or 60-year old still understands that we're always going to be this place for them no matter what.
That's a delicate balancing act. How do you go about keeping towing that line?
Well, that's a really good question. I you know, I love talking to people. I love the conversation. I love the banter. Um, you cannot approach any one person the same way. Um, the trick is always going to be to make sure that the person you're talking to, they know that you're in with them 100% at that moment. And you know, because I'm in the 50s, I can relate a lot more to the older generation. But at the same time, you know, you know, the younger people, for some reason, they listen to me, and why, I just don't know, to be honest with you, because I'm a, you know, I'm salty. You know, I don't have the proper PC culture. I'm gonna shoot you straight. Don't ask me a question unless you want the answer to it. But
Right.
you know, it's important for me, especially in a college town, to try to take these 20 somethings and prepare them for a world that they're not prepared for.
Hmm.
And I don't think colleges do it the right way right now. But hopefully your local bartender and just life in general, you gotta be ready for what is going to be, the biggest challenge of your life, which is as soon as you graduate college, you're in the world. You got to be ready. And my job is to do my best to get your head on straight and be ready for the world, because it's going to kick you in the ass if you don't keep your head on straight.
My next question was best piece of advice, but I think that's it. Is there
Yeah,
a
well, I mean,
something
you
that you
gotta.
have from somebody else that is a favorite, or what do you think?
Well, I mean, hard for me, because I'm old school. Hard work. Hard work is the most important thing. You got to give it your all, no matter what you're doing. Even if you don't like what you're doing, you got to give it your all.
Mhm.
Um, Life is hard. That's why you gotta fight back. You gotta win at life, and that means you gotta work hard. You gotta dedicate yourself, and don't forget to have a little bit of fun in there. You gotta take the edge off yourself too, and that's really hard. That's really hard to be able to walk away from life even for just a minute, so you can let your hair down and just relax. It's especially in the world today. Holy cow, it's tough.
Yeah. What's your biggest pain point in the business?
Being too busy to give the level of service that I want to give.
Yeah.
I don't like being short with people. I don't. I mean, it's hard to it's hard to describe, because people deserve your best, but when you've got more people than you can handle, you got to shorten your time, and that's, to me, that's shortchanging the experience of Max Tavern with people. I mean, I've been there a long time. I've traded bars with a lot of people, and sometimes people come in and they just want to shoot the crap. And when I'm too busy to do that, I feel horrible about it, because that's all I want to do too, is just take a second and just relax and shoot the shit with people. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I'm in the game,
Yep.
and that's why I love my regulars, because they can see when I'm getting flustered, because I'm too busy to keep up. I can't get any help in there,
Mhm.
so they check me, and I love it when they check me, because it makes me stop. It makes me think for a second. Hey, man, you need to slow down. Talk to these people. They're gonna understand that you're busy. So just slow down.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that on my regulars. They know how to check me, so it's great.
What's your definition of success?
Financially, to be able to pay for the life that I'm trying to live. Personally, I'm a happily married man of 20. Holy cow, 20. Holy cow.
20
Well, I've
some
been with
years.
we yeah, we've been together for 23 years. We've been married for, this will be 18 years this year.
Okay.
I have a 3.5-year-old boy. Um, you know, uh, I have a beautiful home. I live up here in the historical area of Davenport, so I've got one of those nice money pits. And I mean, I you know I get to enjoy my family, and that's what is my balance to life, is my son and my wife. That's my balance.
That's cool, man. I've got just a couple more questions here left for you. Do you have a shout out to somebody who's done something positive recently that you think should get some attention?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm wondering if that's something like, if in the food and beverage business, or just something in general, because
Anywhere in life, doesn't matter.
yeah, well, then my suggestion would be a gentleman by the name of Kyle Carter.
Okay.
Kyle Carter is basically in charge of the downtown Davenport partnership.
Hmm.
He's the one putting all these deals together in the downtown area. He's the one that combated the flood. He's the one that took the lead on the shenanigans fiasco. He this man is destined for greatness, and you would be doing yourself a proper service to put him in front of one of these cameras and talk to him. I can promise you that.
Will do. I know Kyle. I will reach out to him and get him on. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
What keeps you up at night?
Today everything keeps me up at night. I, I, it's the bar business is it's very unpredictable.
Hmm.
Um, I don't need to be wealthy in money because I have great love in my life, but I want to be able to provide for my family, create an atmosphere that that makes people happy, that they want to. Like, people work hard,
Hmm.
and they're going to walk into my place and they're going to spend the money that they work their butts off for. So I should give them a proper place to do it.
Yeah,
So yeah, it that keeps me up at night a lot. But we seem to be doing okay. So um,
that's awesome, man. Let's see. Let's end on a positive note. Any successes that you are particularly proud of, business or personal or otherwise?
yeah, I mean, meeting my wife in '97, she, I'm pretty sure I'd be dead right now if it wasn't for her. I was that typical male bartender that was living the life, and you know how it is when that certain somebody walks into a room and it just changes everything.
Hmm.
And this woman is, the best thing that could ever happen to me, and is probably one of the best people I've ever known in my life. And together we, I got her in the business, and I always regretted getting her in the business because she was so smart,
Hmm.
way too smart for the food and beverage. But she picked it up, and now, look, here we are, 23 years later. We own a sweet little piece of history downtown that's got a lot of tradition, a lot of stories could be told. I have a beautiful son. Um, Life is, except for what's going on in the world today, life has been very good to me because of her and my son. And I wouldn't change a single decision I've made in my life to change where I am at right now.
That's great to hear, man. I appreciate that. All right, Gary, is there anything else that we missed? Are you guys doing curbside or delivery or anything that people need to know about?
We are doing curbside, and it's the town has really stepped up. It's truly, I got to tell you, man, it's truly humbling to see some of these people going out of their way to spend money at not only my place, but a lot of places
Hmm.
that are struggling in town. The goodness of people is sometimes it gets lost. It gets a little cloudy how this country is when in times of need. But I can tell you that I love this town. I love the people that live in this town. They have every day they change my perspective on, because I'm a bartender. I'm a cynical old fart. I see things. I don't see the best in everything. But man, these people, truly humbling, truly humbling.